Hello everybody, it's Mel. Today I want to do the top 10 horror movies on Tubi. If you're not familiar, Tubi's a free service that offers tons of movies and they just play ads through the films. So I think it's a great platform and they have a lot of great horror movies. First, Zombieverse. Aside from The Babysitter, this is probably my favorite horror comedy film. I think it leans more into the comedy side than The Babysitter does. It's got plenty of cameos and it's self-aware. It's made bad on purpose to be a comedy. It's not accidental and it's just got such a good funny vibe and feeling. There's so many like jokes and silly situations that happen that make you go, what is going on here? And it is just a great time. The next movie, The Good Son. This is an older film when Macaulay Culkin was still a kid. He's a little older than he was like in the Home Alone series, but it's his, I believe it's his first like serious role. And it is super dark and creepy. I haven't seen it recently, but I still remember it from when I was younger being like, whoa, this is creepy. The next movie I want to talk about is a found footage film called Be My Cat, a film for Anne. This is one of the few found footage films that I thought was like really creepy. I didn't necessarily find it scary, like it's not like a jump scare style horror film. It's more like a revealing character, holy shit, what is going on type of film. And it's about a guy who's making a film for Anne Hathaway so that she'll see what a good director he is, so she'll come to his town and act in a film for him. Super, super creepy. The next movie is The Boy. This is a film starring a young child, and it has a lengthy cameo from Rainn Wilson from The Office. This movie is a slow burn. It's really good. It's set in like a hotel in a really small town, and I think it's a fantastic movie. The cinematography's great, the acting's fantastic. If you like a slow burn kind of thriller horror film, I think you'll really like this movie. Konjam, A Haunted Asylum, is awesome. It's another found footage film, and this is like a paranormal haunted asylum film. It is great. I think the acting is pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's believable. Like you believe they're a bunch of non-actors like trying to create kind of an online sensation by doing an investigation of a haunted place. The effects are great. The tone is great. The pacing's fantastic. I really enjoyed this film. It's above and beyond most other found footage films, in my opinion. The next movie I want to talk about is Lords of Salem. This is a Rob Zombie film. This is one of my favorite Rob Zombie films, and it's based on music, which I thought was really cool because not a lot of horror films, like they have good soundtracks, but they're not entwined with music like this film is. And it's just great. I really love the way it was made, the fact that it's really different from all of his other films and from all other horror movies that I've seen, really. Rob Zombie's probably my favorite horror movie director, and he kills it with this movie. It is fantastic. Hellraiser 2, oh man, this movie terrified me when I was younger. It is so scary. I may have talked about this in one of my other top 10 reviews, I can't remember, but if you don't have, I think it was Hulu that I talked about it, but if you don't have that service, check it out on Tubi. Hellraiser 2 is terrifying, it's gory, it's fantastical, it's awesome. I know the first film gets most of the love, but in my opinion, the second one is equally as good, if not better. The Descent. I think this is the first movie I saw like as an adult that scared me. It is so good. It is terrifying, all the effects, all of the like creepiness of being in a cave is on point. It's also like a kind of a revenge film in a way, where the women that are trapped in this cave are trying to exact revenge on the things hunting them. I think it's one of the greatest horror movies I've ever seen. I absolutely love it. Please watch it if you like kind of slasher trapped horror films. The next movie I want to talk about is Train to Busan. This is another Korean horror film. It's not found footage. It's got a huge budget and it is amazing. I know that it's inspired a couple other movies, Peninsula, I believe, and I think a couple other films. I haven't seen any of the other films yet, but I would definitely like to. If you like zombie movies, if you like Korean horror, if you like just like a really fun, entertaining, but not a comedy horror film, check it out, because it is that kind of movie where it's entertaining and fast-paced, and it keeps you engaged with the film. It doesn't drag on at any point. It is a great movie. And last but definitely not least, Velocipaster. This is like a micro-budget indie film, and it is freaking amazing. I can't encapsulate all the stuff that makes it so great unless I do its own review, which I probably will end up doing. But one of my very favorite things about this movie is how self-aware it is. And it's not self-aware in the way that Zombievers is. Like, it knows it doesn't have the budget to do certain things and tries it anyway, and it just tries to kind of explain it off in the film. One of the greatest examples of this is at the very opening of the film, and this isn't really a spoiler. He's talking about how his parents died in a car crash, or in a car explosion, and they cut to the shot where you're supposed to see this happening, and they just put a title card up that says VFX car explosion here, and then they just cut to the next scene. So like, they don't even show you an explosion, they just show you a scene and say, put car explosion VFX here. It's hilarious. The Velocipaster doesn't even turn into a raptor. It turns into like a mini T-Rex, which is super hysterical. And throughout this whole low budget, funny, like really ridiculous movie, in the very middle, there's like this beautiful like music video put right in the center, and it's like super poignant and very well produced and part of the story. And it's just so cool that they're able to wrap up this like really perfect segment in this really B movie that's just terribly funny, and it all flows together really well. I can't recommend that movie enough. All of the movies on this list are really amazing. I hope you check them out. Give Tubi a chance, and thank you for watching.